some people in here. As we get going, I'm going to start. Just wanted to show you guys, starting out on the funded account, made $1,000, chilling on this, already done. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the paper trading account so we can trade together. We moved up quite a bit on the day, and we're above the 80R currently. We're in power hour. We're still moving up. I'm basically, we just keep riding this uh, 2 deviation from the VWAP. We're just riding it up and bouncing off of it and riding it up and then bouncing off of it. So yeah, it's been a good day. I made my money earlier in the morning when we were red, and then basically I got to ignore all of this extra stuff. So I've just been hanging out, made my $1,000 and enjoying myself. So came in here for the last hour, looking for basically the thing that I keep noticing is we keep getting W's that form big M's that is what's driving us up. So like, just for an example, right? Like this W created a M, which drove us up, and then we got into a W that drove us down, but it created another M, which is driving us up, which is actually creating another W. So I think we're about to pop down. We're popping down now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a short here at 15, because I think we're kind of topping out for the day, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think we can go too much more, but it's been a good day. They came out and basically, Fed and Biden talked, and they had to say some good stuff or things that the market would perceive as good because, well, the market's been shitting and we're about to go into midterms and all that stuff. So, it's all part of their plan. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with a little green for hopefully next week being, probably choppy in general. Probably like one red day, green day, red day, green day. It'll probably be something like that. But it'll be something that you can play because the days that are red and the days that are green will trend that way the entire day. So it'll just basically be like one day we go up, the next day we go back down and fill the gap, the next day we go up and fill the gap. It'll probably be something like that next week. So I'm looking forward to it, actually. So I'm trying to get my little entry here at 15. I still feel like we've kind of topped out. So if we continue up, then I'll probably end up having to exit on, like, say, we go up, I'll have to exit on a leg down, which is perfectly fine. This is why I do this, is so that I can show you guys where it's opportune to average down at if you happen to get a bad entry. Sometimes as well, if it's just not happening, you just need to know when to cut it. So and I think I'm agreeing with you, Fiona. I think we might pop back down, like QQQ, for example, may go back down to like 260, maybe even 255 at some point, and then potentially go back up to around this level, and then it's kind of like haymaker its way down and up and down. So so far this entry, we're down a little bit. I'm gonna go back up, see if we can get a little bit of money on this. We're at 15 bucks. I'll take 35. So first trade for the day, it's 45 bucks. So last night, I was showing how much I made in the last 24 hours with everything, but so now we have $45. Good little start. I would have been over 100 now had I held it. That's okay. I'd much rather secure than hold for some type of home run or something like that. So Gonna do another order at 1750 because it already showed that it's liking this EMA or this fib line here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this rally is a bull trap as well. And this is the thing, is how long does this rally last before it actually shows that it was a bull trap? We could continue up. For example, QQQ could go all the way back as high as hell, like 300, before that bull trap really triggers and then we die. And this is something that you have to remember with stocks. We take the stairs up and we take the elevator down. So if you want to look at it that way, and we stair step our way up, the moment we hit some type of level that they consider a decent level to basically make us die after we feel comfortable, that's where it's going to happen, and it's going to be very quick, very brutal. People are going to lose a shit ton of money, but they're going to make all the money because they're going to be in shorts. About a day or two before it happens, or a week before it happens, they're already going to have their money in all those shorts. So So I may readjust this back to 15. So it looks like we're struggling here. And I want to be able to catch that downward movement if we get it. It does look a little bit like this could be an M forming, but this would still have to, if it's going to become an M, this needs to drop all the way down to here, somewhere in this level, to create a true M, because this second leg needs to be there. Um, and this also looks like a W to me, so we could very well be starting that double top plus W formation. This could be pretty brutal if it decides to reject at this level here. And then of course if we continue up, then the M, maybe it's on a smaller time frame, which I don't have access to, or like if you have a tick chart, the tick charts can show other patterns that this won't be showing, which unfortunately tick charts are not available on TradingView. So we're gonna see if we can get a quick 50 bucks. Let's do that. I do not really swing futures contracts like from day to day. I do not do that. Um, the most I'll do is like swing overnight, and I won't swing NQ. I'll swing MNQ overnight. MNQ is a little less volatile, so you can have a little bit more faith when you do things like that. And again, whenever I average down, I average about $15 or $20 away. So for me, this would be $15 is at 30 because our entry was at 15. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. And then that gives me the ability to then average down here, because our average will be like right around 20, between 20 and 25. So then I'll be able to average down at 40. With 2 more, if that needs to happen anyway. But it's good to have your orders set, because sometimes this thing will basically just do a quick and then death, and you can go ahead and get your exit there. So, and I'm not too worried about it if we do continue up, like I said, because eventually I'll get this, something like this at a certain point. I'll get one of those. So, and I've had contracts, or I've had positions go down as much as $10,000 and sell them for $2,000-$3,000 gains. So a few $100s, a few $1,000s doesn't really worry me too much. How much am I trading with? I trade with funded futures accounts, so I trade with Top Step, and with Top Step you get to basically just pay a subscription, and then you trade with. You have to pass a couple of steps that they have. Once you pass those steps, you go ahead and you get a funded account, and then there's like basically no limits except for you can't go below a certain amount per day, or in general you can't go below a certain amount, and if you go below that amount then it cuts you off, and that's it. But whenever I trade like my personal account, or even more than the funded accounts, I just like the less risk of not trading with my own money when it comes to trading futures. Um, so yeah. So we're watching, we're waiting. This will eventually start dying and give us an exit. I probably should have gone long instead of short, but this W right here is pretty large. So when it starts coming into fruition, it's going to be a pretty big downward move. Um, so I'm just waiting on it. You know what? I'll put this right at this fib line just to make sure that I get my exit. Because if it does bounce down, it'll probably bounce off of this fib line. So we're waiting. Sometimes being patient is all you need. Last night we had a position that was down. I think it was like $2,000 or $3,000 at one point, and then ended up paying us a few $100. So um, it's just about knowing where to be to have your average down at, and then where to finally give up if it's not working out in your favor. So far, we're down a few $100, nothing too crazy. Do I think SPY is going for a short squeeze? Not upwards. I think that all of these are moving. Basically, they're doing a fake bull run, right? Like they're bull trapping a lot of people right now. Now it's just about when does this trap finally end? We're getting pretty close to it, I think. Like QQQ probably maxes out around 280, 290 max if it doesn't start turning around by Monday. SPY probably 380, 385 if it doesn't start turning around by Monday as well. So, and that's what's up. Hey, if you good traders tend to use the same types of things, and a lot of hedge funds and whatnot, they tend to use, fibs. They tend to use, maybe not necessarily the TTM squeeze, but VWAP, right? I have my 9 and 21 and my 200-day EMAs. Let's see, I use volume profile as well. This is a part of my VWAP, which is way down here because we just blew through that shit. And then I have ADR, so I have like the upper ADR and lower ADR and my stuff. And then that's really it. Looks like I'm about to get this second average down here. Oh yeah, I also have volume profile as well. But the volume profile with in Q is very large right now, so I also do have volume profile. Forgot about that. Volume profile is the shit. Oh fuck, I messed that up. Getting real close to that average down. Give it to me. Alright, let's see. Where do I place my fibs? So my fibs, it just really depends on my bias, right? So for me, I was hoping that this would kind of draw us down some more, like we would kind of come up here and then maybe reject again and go down. That hasn't happened yet. That's okay. Let me see, hold on. $5 in so y'all know what's going on. Okay. Um, anyway, so what I did was I picked this high and this low right here. I could have used, different areas right here and gone upwards instead, but I was hoping to go down, and I thought that maybe this would kind of be the trigger to start going down. So I used this high and this low, and basically what I did was I drew from here to here, and then like you drag it to the left a little bit to just kind of make it bigger. And then it did work out in my favor, like here, right? Like this was a nice leg down, but now we're starting to kind of disrespect it. So what I need to do more than likely is redraw, which can't be right all the time. I could redraw this way. I could redraw here, right? Like use that. I can say like this is my new high, since for now it is, and use that as my low, and then just drag this over a little bit and go from there. And I can start playing it that way. That's also fine. And at this moment, I'm just basically looking for a leg back down similar to this, or one of these bad boys while we're going up, so I can get my exit, and then I'll probably start playing it upwards instead. So. Oh my god, somebody else who doesn't understand how these work. Okay, so yes, I'm in my paper trading account and when I do my live, so I can literally make sure what y'all are talking about in here, and I can pay attention to what y'all are asking and stuff. My funded account, here you go, for all the people who don't under fucking stand. Here you go, funded account. I've already made $1,000 for today. I'm good. I'm not going to overtrade, right? I don't want to overtrade. So when I'm done trading with my money on here, I get off, I get on live, and so that I can help you guys out, I hop on my paper trading account, and I use the exact same techniques and everything like that, but I'm able to focus on you guys' questions, okay? Does that sound good? Is that alright with you? Is that alright, buddy? I mean, like, and I'm not going to claim that every trade I do is good, but I will show you how accurate my trading is. I'm at least 80% accurate. It fluctuates between 80 and 80, like 88%. So, this literally shows you how accurate I am with my trades. My wins are around $100 a piece. My losses can be upwards of around $200 a piece. And so overall, my profitability per trade is about $54. Okay. All right. So I'm just on here trying to show you guys how I do things, show you how I use my indicators, because I know what I'm doing. To start paper trading on TV, I'm not sure if you need the subscription for it. I think you can just literally log on and go to the trading area, like the trading tab, and then go to where it says like log in for paper trading, for TradingView, and you can start practicing. So just to show you guys, like I started this little account with you guys like a few weeks ago, and I started it over at 100,000, and we're already at 129,000. So we've made $29,000 in 3 weeks together, and this is how often my trades are wins with you guys on here. So boom, 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 boom. You get the picture. I rarely lose. When I do, okay, make it up the very next play and then some. And there you go. Okay. So we've been doing this for a little while together. We're doing a good job. We've had several plays that have been down way more than this and made money, so I'm not worried about it. what are my indicators? Let me go ahead and first of all, how much does one need to start? If you want to trade with your own money versus doing a funded futures account, which I don't recommend, I recommend doing a funded futures account or what they call prop accounts or whatever. What I would say is if you're going to do it yourself, you need at least $1,000 to $2,500, and I wouldn't start with NQ, so I wouldn't start with NNQ. I would start with MNQ, and MNQ is going to move basically a tenth of what NQ moves. So if you would make $1,000 or lose $1,000 with NQ, you're only going to make $100 or lose $100 with MNQ. So it's a good place to start and practice with. Let's see. What are my indicators? So I use, this is going to be your TTM Squeeze Pro. The TTM Squeeze Pro shows you pressure, for lack of easier way to say it, it's just showing you pressure. So here, basically what it's saying is there's a lot of pressure building. The red and the gold dots are pressure building. Black means that it's being released or it's just starting to build, okay? And green means there's no more pressure. So pressure is starting to build. Basically, just now we're starting to get some black, like a black dot forming, okay? So we're basically just had no pressure and we've just been moving up, okay? But when the pressure starts building, as you can see, when it starts building, we're going to probably move down some. So I've got a good average now. And I think I'll be able to get an exit here. I think I'll be able to get an exit here soon. Because a lot of these fib lines also act as slight rejection points too before you finally break through. So I think I'll get a rejection here soon. Do I play Forex? I don't play Forex. I normally just play NQ. I play QQQ and then TQQQ and SQQ. If you can't see the trend there, I like basically playing the same stuff. Every so often I might play like SPX, SPY, and ES. This one's called TTM Squeeze Pro. We also have our Williams Alligator, which we use for our EMAs. So this is going to be your 9 EMA, your 21 EMA, and your 200 EMA here, okay? This basically, the way they work is if your 9 crosses above your 21 EMA, it signals longing or calls. When it crosses below, it signals shorts or puts, all right? Let's see. I think if I'm going to do it, I'm going to average down there. And I will do 10 there if I get to do it. Okay. But yeah, and then from there, basically your 200 EMA acts as like a bounce zone, okay, as well as a major breakthrough. So you'll notice a lot of times it bounces off, it breaks through. When it finally breaks through, it's a really strong move, and it usually continues to then kind of like use this as gravity. Think of the 200 EMA as gravity. And then this is a good point to start talking about VWAP, which is basically the 200 EMA's little brother. So it does the same thing, but you tend to break through VWAP a little bit more easier than you do the 200 EMA, but it still acts as a bounce zone, right? So like looking at it, they're kind of almost on top of each other for quite a while, which makes it extra hard to break through when it finally does and catapults you back. So you can see it working there. This is finally a good spot to talk about volume profile, volume session profile. And what this is basically showing you what the volume is looking like. So bullish versus bearish volume at different levels. So we're all the way up here, which means we're basically getting out of the volume profile, and it's still pretty bullish up here. But if we start breaking down to around here again, we're gonna probably fall, because this is a short volume level, probably drop us down to around here, which then will probably start breaking back down again, which might not happen now. It might happen after hours. We'll see. Not too worried about it. Like I said, I think we're falling back down. I think we're basically gonna double top right around here where we're at now, and be done. So let's see what else is there. Then I have ADR versus DTR zones, and what this is showing you. So it shows you where you open for the week, it shows you where you open for the day, and then it gives you a lower ADR zone, a 50% line, another 50% line, and then the upper ADR zone, and then another 50% line. And what this is showing you is just basically a range that you can look for rejections at, and if you happen to break through the upper or the lower ADR, you tend to kind of continue. Sometimes you might like come back to it and bounce off, but you tend to continue in the direction that you broke it. But if you don't break it, you tend to like stay. So like this is a good example, right? You hit it, you reject it a couple times, and then when you finally broke through, you just kind of continued up. But that doesn't mean that you won't be having some, drops still to come. It just means that for the majority of it, you're going to continue up. Let's see. Appreciate your trade, Blondie. Yeah, I do need some WD-40 in this chair. Let's see it. I do think that we're basically going into some type of bull trap here. Like this, I talk about them quite often, but dead cat bounces are something that you really need to be aware of in the market that we're in right now. They basically, what they do is they cause consumers to get, retail consumers, us, to get confident that we're done and we found a bottom and we're going to move up, and then they yank the rug out. Basically, they're moving it up so that they can get better prices on the shorts and everything, and then they drive it down, and they get all of your money that you've been putting in to go up. They snatch all your money away in less than a week, because then it took us just, let's just pretend this is a week-long move instead of just a daily move, right? If you just think of it that way, this took us a week. 2 days will be here. That's how they do things. And it sucks because as retail traders, we just have to kind of play along with it. But if you understand what's going on, that's why instead of playing all this upward movement, I'd rather play the reversals. And that's why I'm shorting instead of longing, because in my eyes, this can turn back this way any fucking second. Any second. And we'll yank it and we'll be down here way faster than it took us. Like I said, we stair step up, you elevator down. That's how things work. Am I using Rob Hoffman's trading strategy? I do not know what his trading strategy is, so I'm going to go with no. My trading strategy is basically using EMAs, VWAP. The VWAP has a couple deviations on it, and the deviations are based off of fibs, which is my next point that I use. I use fibs, and then last but not least, the most important thing that I use are harmonics patterns. So like here, you have a W, a bearish W that forms, that drives us down slightly here, but it ends up forming a bullish M right here. So this ends up being a bullish M right here that drives us up. That forms another bullish M that drives us up. That forms another bullish M that drives us up. Okay. Let's see if there's any other points of area where I can point anything out. So like here, this is what I was talking about. Bearish W, we drive down, but then this creates a bullish M. So a lot of them are incorporated with one another. So to give you an example, easy to see, you can have a bearish W become a bullish M, right? So this is a bearish W that drives us down, but this is a bullish M that will now drive us up, which then creates a bigger bearish W that now drives us down. So as long as you understand what you're looking at in terms of those harmonics, and they'll play off of each other, and they basically drive each other to create the patterns over and over and over again. But the general pattern may stay up or may stay down, and that's going to be whatever the bigger pattern is. So for today, what we've had is we've had small W's, big M's that are driving us up. So small W, bigger M to create a somewhat bigger W that's still smaller than this M that'll drive us up, right? So that's how these harmonics kind of work. And you can use that to basically help you understand what's going on this chart, right? So let's go ahead and zoom back in on this. We're not quite where we want to be with our play yet, and we almost got an average down here, another one, but we're chilling. I'm not worried about this. I've been down way more than this and then exited with like just for a win, so I'm okay. Last half hour is definitely usually moving time for sure. Let's see. What time frame? I'm on the 1 minute when I trade futures. I do not recommend doing anything less than the 15 minute though if you're trading like QQQ SPY, like an actual stock with options in it, even if you're day trading. And the simple reason is this, right? So look at it here, and then if we put it on the 15-minute chart, it looks a lot easier to tell that we were just continuing to ride up all day, right? But what we're doing is we're creating a massive W that'll potentially take us out, because that's what this looks like to me. So what you can see, what I'm seeing, created a massive W that, in my opinion, can drive us pretty far down once it comes back into fruition. It could be next week. It might not be today, right? Like we still have 30-ish minutes or whatever, and that's fine. If it's not today, if we continue up through the rest of the day, that's okay. I might just have that one play and it was a bad play today, and that's okay. And I might actually hold that one particular play through it just to see what happens during open on Sunday, because I think even on Sunday we'll open down, like Sunday for at least NQ anyway, obviously not QQQ, but NQ I believe will open down pretty quick. Traders reality strategies, I'm not sure. Yeah, trading before market close is definitely a little riskier, but I'm okay with it. I've done it for several weeks now in a row, and we've made money. We've turned. I think we had the account at 100,000 when we first started together, and now it's at 129. So we're okay. If it's futures, 1 minute's good. If you're not on futures, the 1 minute is not good. Let's just put it like that. Easiest way to say it. So we're starting to move down a little bit here. I'm hoping that this is kind of the top out right here. Where do I put my stop loss? So my stop loss depends on when I finally have basically my it's usually about, make it easier, instead of telling you it's based off of my how much I have profit in my account already, let me just put it like this. It's based off of, it's about 15-ish% of what I've made, like my profits in my account that I can use. So that way I'm still green overall. Doesn't bother me too much if I lose, because I know I can make it back pretty easy. It's like a week maybe I can make it all back, so it's okay. So for me, since ours was basically $30,000, right? That would be, for me, that'd be around probably like 5,000 or so on this particular account. Okay. And if I'm feeling super duper risky, I would go as high as 30%. But in this particular scenario, I'm pretty confident that we'll drive down. Maybe again, maybe not today, but Sunday when we open or whatever. I highly believe that we'll drive down. So even if I don't get my exit today, I'm gonna probably hold these and just kind of keep averaging down, get my average, and then when we open on Sunday, we'll visit back and we'll see if I get my green exit on this. If I don't get it today in the next 20 minutes or 25 minutes or whatever. Yeah, I need a new chair, WD-40. This chair is on its last little bit when it comes to these creaks, man. Oh, don't use the 1 minute on QQQ. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yes, I'm currently shorting. The red lines are the short, and this is where I'm trying to get out at. So I'm just trying to get a quick out. So I have my short here. I have an average down here. Okay. So if I average down, I'll probably get somewhere right in here, and then I'll probably hopefully get a bounce off of the EMA here. So but when it comes to QQQ, I promise you, you'll be way better off if you trade at least on the 15 minute. If you're day trading, 15 minute will help you cancel out a lot of noise. Even with just if you take off everything on your chart and you just have your 9 EMA, your 21 EMA, and your 200 EMA, that's it. You put it on there. Let's take a look at it. So let's make it pretty easy. So I'm gonna take off everything on my chart real quick, um, except for that. Okay, that's good. Okay. So looking at this, right? 9 crosses above your 21, that signals calls. Your 200 EMA acts as like a resistance point area. You opened here. Okay, so this is your opening candle for the day. All right. You open up green, green, green. You bounce right off your 200 EMA. So the first play that you would have taken would have been a short right off your 200 EMA. It goes from 270 down to 268. So 271, almost 272, down to 268. If you have a week or 2 weeks out on a put, you get it within $5 out of the money. That's a 20 to 30% move right there, which you probably would have sold it somewhere right in here and secured your money. If you do like how I do, which is basically try and sell at 5 or 10%, I would have sold somewhere right here. So I would have sold right on this pop off. I would have sold it. So as soon as basically what happens is you get this, you get your bounce down. As soon as this candle opens and it shows that it's bouncing down, I'm entering. So I'm entering somewhere right here. Okay. You could even be less risky, and you can enter at the bottom of this candle. So say there, you enter there, you end up exiting somewhere right here if you do like how I do with 5 or 10%. Then you wait. You hit this. It hasn't rejected, it hasn't broken through or rejected. It's basically doing both. All these candles are on both sides, right? This candle finally starts above, goes above, so maybe you enter at the top of this candle. Boom, calls, enter up. You have extra confirmation because your 9 has crossed above your 21 EMA. Stay up until this starts curling down, or you start seeing something like that. You can ride this up. So if you have multiple contracts, you let them go. You let the majority, 80% of them, go at 5 or 10%. You let that last 1 or 2 ride it out until your indicators tell you that, hey, we're turning around, or you're happy with whatever you got. And there you go. This is the easiest way to trade QQQ, SPY, or whatever. This is the simplest way. I did this for years. Just this, nothing else. Not this, just these 3 indicators. That's all I used, and I was very successful. I just added the extra layers because they helped me be more successful on shorter time frames, trading more lucrative things. That's all. So let's see, did we get our second average down? We're about to. Maybe get it. But yeah, this is the 15-minute time frame. Yes, so I use the 15-minute time frame. I will use the 1 hour or the 6 1 hour in my opinion. 4 hour and daily charts when it comes to this. So when I'm day trading, I use the 15-minute. And day trade for me could mean I sell it by the end of the day, or I potentially maybe hold it for 1 day, 2 days. So like a short intra swing, intra week swing. So day trade to slash intra week swing. And then if I go to the 65-minute slash 1 hour, I'm probably holding it maybe from Monday to Friday, or Monday to Monday, something like that. If I go to the 4 hour or day, I'm holding for several weeks, maybe a couple weeks or something like that. Okay. I see somebody asked a question. What EMA am I using? So yeah, the pink one is my 9, the white one is my 21, and then the purple is my 200 EMA. Does this work on US 30 also? This works on literally, I don't want to say everything, but I mean, I've used it on crypto before. I've used it on Forex and obviously futures. I use it. I've used it on stocks and for options and regular stocks trading. So yes, it definitely works. Oh yeah, got my little average down there. It looks like I'm actually about to go green too, by the way. And then I have almost green anyway. Almost went green. Literally bounced right off my shit. But I didn't have this moved yet, so we'll see if I get it. Yep, there we go. And I just sold it. So after all of that, just sold for $340. Whew, what a fucking ride we had. So we made $385, and that was a struggle to make. So I'm cool on that. Is it illegal to trade US 30? Why would it be illegal to trade US 30? The indicator that I use to help me with my candle color. So first of all, you can change your candle colors if you go to right here and you go to simple. You can make them whatever the fuck you want. So I made them a little bit different green, a little bit different red, etc. And then from there, I went over here and I added this thing called volume candle. And that's it. So let me go ahead and turn these back on. So I like having that on, I like having that on, I like having that on. Cool. And if you want something that'll help you see like maybe like the general trend help a little bit better, this thing that I really like that I have is called ATR Trailing Stop. You might like it, you might not, you'll see. Basically what it does is it gives you kind of like, the red is obviously where you would short, the green is where you can long, so it kind of helps you see visually what's going on. I used to use this for a little while, I don't anymore, but every once in a while I like to turn it on, maybe if I'm struggling or something. Let's see. If you really want to rewatch this in depth with like what indicators I'm using, if you go to my YouTube page, no need to subscribe or anything like that to view what I've posted. If you go to the YouTube page, Hoskola Trading, and you go to the one that I posted on the 12th of this month, I go over all of my indicators, what settings they use, how to use them by themselves and in tandem with one another. There might be one or two that I am using that aren't on there, and the ones that I don't have, you can ask me like specifically about them maybe in the next live or whatever that I'll do on Sunday, and we can go ahead and go over those ones if they're not in there. That'll probably help a little bit more, because this one, I remember we made $500 in like 30 minutes, and then I ended up spending about 45 minutes just strictly going over my indicators and everything like that. So this one's a really good one. And then if you want to learn in terms of like super in depth, like layer by layer of how I do these, like just the EMAs first, then this, then that. If I know I have a shit ton of videos, I know. Don't hate me for it, but if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you watch every fucking video I posted, you'll learn this strategy so in depth. By the time that you're done watching them all, you'll be probably as good as I am. So how much did I make today? So in the live, we made 385 in the last 50 minutes, just 2 trades. But in my actual account, I made right at, because I wanted to stop at, this is what I do every single day, I stopped at $1,000. So price action is definitely something that, you know, I like to pay attention to 100%, but these indicators tend to work with price action in general, so yeah. The YouTube name is going to be the same as all my handles everywhere, Haskala Trading. The only difference is it's not going to have the underscore. I don't want to overdo it. We only have 10 minutes left of market being open for today. I don't want to get caught out trying to make a quick play and then, you know, not getting my exit and having to hold it through the weekend or whatever. So we're going to just chill here. If y'all have any questions, you know, go ahead and ask. And that's what we're here for. And then whenever 3 o'clock rolls around, I'm going to go ahead and head out and enjoy the rest of my day. Which video they took it down? Which video are you talking about? Again, Estonian, if you want to take a look at the indicators that I'm using, if you go to the YouTube right here, you don't have to subscribe or anything. If you go to the one posted on the 12th, I go over every indicator, all the settings, how to use them by themselves, how to use them together, and everything. I'd spent like 45 minutes on it on this day, so it's going to be super in-depth. It's going to be way better than me trying to explain them to you in about a few minutes or whatever. There might be, like I said earlier, there might be 1 or 2 of them that I didn't show, and probably the one that I didn't show would be the volume profile indicator, which I can explain super easily to you now. Is literally just showing you bullish versus bearish volume in levels, and then also gives you something called a point of control. Okay, this line right here, this point of control, is going to act as like a little kind of area of resistance and then breakthrough. So you'll get a lot of chop around it and finally a big move one way or the other. Do I live trade regularly at a specific time? Yes, I live trade every day that the market is open. So this doesn't apply to Sunday, but Monday through Friday I go in around either 1 hour before power hour or during power hour. I'm in here. And then I really try my best to come back on around when market opens back up around 5 or 6 p.m. Try come back on for about an hour or so, then get off, and or I get on super late, like around midnight or something like that. But then on Sunday, religiously, I get on when market opens at 5. Okay. Appreciate you, Dutch. That one was a struggle getting that 300 or so, that 380 or whatever. That one was a struggle, but we made it. How long did it take for me to be profitable? From learning to now? That's a good question. So immediately I was profitable, but it wasn't because I knew what I was doing. It was just because the market was going up, and it was really hard to be wrong at the time. But that was more so just the fact that it was the market just doing what it does, and I was just going with the flow. I didn't actually know what I was doing, and I found that out quickly because when we started downturning, I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And this is in 2018 that I'm talking about, not the more recent one. I didn't know what I was doing, and I started losing. I lost basically all my money. So I'm going to use that point as the point from when I started learning to being profitable. It took me from the first day that I said I need to learn to when I was like, okay, I'm comfortable and I'm consistent, about 9 months before I was like, I felt comfortable saying I was consistent and I knew what I was doing. It took about 9 months, and then it was probably a year, a full year, maybe even a year and a half before other people started asking me to show them how to trade and how to help them out. And I didn't feel comfortable helping them out yet. But then I started getting to the point where I had several $1,000,000 now, and I was like, okay, I've made a good chunk of money doing this. I know what I'm doing. Now I feel comfortable teaching other people. And it's been probably a couple of years since that point, and I've been just trying to help other people learn. You have a good weekend as well, Dutch. My cap daily is 1K, not necessarily. I just stop myself at $1,000 unless I'm like super catching the trend. It's a super trend day or whatever. I've had a day as high as $5,000 before, $6,000 or whatever. But that was a day when like we just literally just did this, just, and I just kept getting in on the small pop up and down, and obviously I could have done that today, right, with the pumps ups that we had, or the little small drops that we had for the pumps up. I could have done that today, but since my personal thoughts are we can drop at any minute and never stop, I don't trust trying to long at one of these bottoms, because this could very well be the top and then we go down. So that's why I did it the way that I did it today. Let's see. Hello, Edison. What's my weekly plus percent and minus? So um, I make, I mean, obviously, if I'm making $1,000 a day, I'm making about $5,000 a week. And then I'm 80%. So this tells you right here, I'm 83% accurate on my trades, and this fluctuates between 80 and 88%. So some days I might be like 100, like literally 100%, and it drives me up. But for the most part, I'm right around 80 to 85%. Yeah, and then let's see, what is the? You're very welcome, Andrew. I love doing this. Um, a power hour for me is 2 p.m. Central Time, U.S. time. Let's see, and then what is the key tips on trading? In my opinion, is being consistent and taking small wins over and over again, consistently. Like when it comes to options, people think they need 20, 30, 40% on plays. You need 5% over and over and over. 5%, just over and over and over again. Use 5%, like 4 or 5 plays a day that give you 5% to grow your portfolio 5%. And if you grow, give you a little heads up, and you can scale this however you need to with how much money you have. If you have $2,000, you start off with $2,000, and you grow it 5% every day, and I think it's 4 months, 3 or 4 months, you have almost $100,000. So think of that, because it's compounding. Remember, you're compounding it. So 5% today is not the same as 5% next week. It's compounding tremendously because you're taking these small gains. Can you trade with me on live trading? I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm literally showing you where I do my entries and my exits. If you trade futures with me, easy peasy. You can make the same money like I've said, right? So if we log out of the Tradovate and we go to our paper trading account, this is how much money we've made together in the last 3 weeks. If you take every trade that I've shown, we've made $29,000. I started with 100. That means that we've made 29,622 in 3 weeks. How much did I start in my account at the beginning? I started with about 1,000. I grew it to about 20,000. I lost it all to around 200, and then ever since then I've just been growing that same $200. So realistically, I started with $1,000, if you want to put it that way. How much do I have invested in trading? Overall, probably like 6 million, and then I have another like 800,000 and other different things now that I've grown it. Do I teach people? Yes, I do. If you'd like to learn, you can always shoot me an email to EMA Day Trader. Hold on, let me show you. Let's go ahead and cancel all this out so y'all can just see this. If you want to, you can always email me there, emadaytrader@gmail.com. We can set up a one-on-one. I do them for like $60 for the hour. I try to make them as cheap as I can to like compensate for the time, but also like make it to where you're not hurting your pockets. So if you want to, you can always do that. You can also always join our Discord group, $15 a month. We have a class every single Saturday at 6 p.m. Central where you can ask any question you want. We can go over indicators, do whatever you need. It's a class for you. And in my opinion, $15 a month just for that one class is worth it. So this is my account where I trade pennies, or a demo account. So my account, I do not trade pennies. First of all, I trade on my account where I have the majority of my money invested. I'm trading shares of like QQQ, I'm trading shares of SPY, I'm trading shares of Amazon. Like, this is my long-term account that I'm buying stuff at levels at, as well as having dividend stocks. And then I have a certain portion of it, like maybe 15%, where I go and I play QQQ options, swings, based off of the daily chart and what I see on the daily chart. My I guess it's not a demo account, but I guess my funded account, or whatever you want to call that, that's where like I get the money to keep funneling in to my long-term account, because you're only taxed on 40% of the gains that you make in futures trading. So 60% of it is untaxed. So I'm taking that 60% and I'm putting it into my long-term portfolio so that I can just basically keep accumulating untaxed gains, because I'm going to hold them for more than a year or whatever. Oh my god. So again, since I have to show somebody who thinks that just because I'm on the paper trading account with you guys that I'm not trading real money, this is my account. I already fucking made $1,000 today. Then I came on here with you guys and I made $385. So, hope you're impressed, sir. Yes, you can jump in here and do the trading with us at any time. This guy's full of shit. He hasn't done any of this. Okay, Sonny. Of course. Of course. All these things can be applied to Forex. They can be applied to all that stuff. It can be all applied to to crypto, Forex, etc. I would say if you're trading crypto, though, remember you need to be trading the coins that actually have healthy charts. I would recommend, like, obviously if you're going to trade crypto, maybe just Bitcoin, for example, with these strategies, because you need to do something that actually reacts to the charts correctly. But like using them to trade maybe shit coins or whatever, is not going to work in your favor. In my opinion, it's not gonna work in your favor, because the shit coins, they can just drop out of nowhere when somebody decides to finally press a button that takes all your money, right? When I say a healthy chart, I mean something that continuously goes up and down and actually has like real volume working with it. So like, you know, Bitcoin is a good one. Ethereum is a good one. Maybe Litecoin is a good one, right? Like the ones that actually, like, this is a healthy chart because it has some actual length to it, right? Like it hasn't only been around for 6 months. You know what I mean? And not only has it not only been around for only 6 months, it actually has some real value to it, etc., etc. And I'm not necessarily trying to impress anybody when I show like my account, but it's it's more so like I understand the skepticism. I understand people saying, hey, paper trading. But I also want you to understand that I've made the money in my account because sometimes people are just saying like, you're paper trading, bro. I get it. If I show you though that I've made it in my real account, you got to recant your shit. That's all I gotta say because I've made it in my real account. I just showed you I make $1,000 every day in my account. So yeah, how can we short crypto? I'm honest with you. You have to. I don't really trade crypto like that. So for me, I couldn't really tell you. You have to find a platform that allows you to do it. So I don't know what platforms those are. For me, when I trade crypto, I'm basically like how I told you with my long-term portfolio with like QQQ, SPY, etc. I'm just buying at levels because for me, I'm a long-term Warren Buffett trader when it comes to that part. My day trading is to funnel into my long-term types of stuff. And to be honest with you, you should be doing the same thing. So, um, and yes, so the next live is going to be on Sunday when market opens at 5 p.m. Central. I might wait about 30 minutes or so before I go live, but be looking for it around 5 p.m. Central, 5:30. Latest it'll be 6 p.m. Um, let's see, what are the name of my indicators? If you need to know the indicators and how to set them up and everything, if you go to my YouTube channel right here, no need to subscribe, just search it up, you'll find it. Go to the one posted on the 12th, and that's the one you're looking for. I go over every indicator for about 45 minutes, how to set it up, how to use them by themselves, and how to use them together. So, very good one. Um, let's see. What was my starting balance? For this, for Tradovate, it was 100,000. So this is like a legitimate funded account. I started with 100,000, so I have $50,000 in cushion that if I wanted to at any point, I could pull out 25,000, a little over 25,000, and keep 90% of it. But what I would prefer to do is just pull out what I need, which is not necessarily need, but about $5,000 a week. Pull out about $5,000 a week and let this cushion stay so that whenever I have a bad day, I'm not getting basically restarted or whatever. I don't get reset. Am I live in Discord also? So when I go live on TikTok and I go live on Twitch, but I alert everyone in Discord that I'm going live. So you'll get the actual alert. Let's see. The I also have a partner named Logan right here, which you'll see, and he goes over like a lot of stuff. Like he's been going over charts all day, posting stuff and everything like that. They'd be silly a little bit, but he's been posting stuff all day, going over things, and he's been in here live, like basically screen sharing and live trading with everyone all day. So we do usually have somebody in the live screen in the Discord, and when we don't, we'll let you know, like, hey, we're not doing that today or whatever. So yeah, I'm funded with Top Step. Funded with Top Step. And Twitch is going to be Hozkala Trading as well. I can't find the name on here at the moment, but it's Hozkala Trading. You may have to add the underscore. I'm not 100% sure. I can't see it. Whatever. I don't want to mess anything up, so I'm going to keep it like that. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Like I said, I don't show y'all the $1,000 a day to brag or prove anybody wrong. It's just to show you that I really do this with real money, and that the reason why I stop is because I've hit my goal, as you should when you hit your goal, and then I go to keep myself nice and fresh, keep trading, and so that I can come on here with you guys, answer your questions, and focus on basically what you're asking me versus the screen. I go on the paper trading account and I log in and we make money together. And if you're worried about this, that, and the other, right? Oh, jeez. See, I have apparently two orders coming in here that I did not cancel. So let's go ahead and cancel those. I don't know why this is on here. I don't see any orders on here. I don't know why it's saying that I have orders on here when I do not. Anyway. Yeah. I just show it to you so that y'all know that I'm actually doing it with real money before I come on here and I can focus on what you guys are doing. So, that's all. So no, it is not. It is not income tax, the 1099. It's the same. You become a professional trader, basically for Top Step, and you make the 60-40%, and you're paying them the 10%, not the other way around. And I only watch two things on a daily basis: NQ and QQQ. And then it's little variants, which are TQQQ and SQQQ. Every once in a while, I'll go ahead and fuck with SPX and SPY or ES, but yeah, that's it. I don't know where these things, so it says 11,050. Where is this order you're talking about? You're a liar. I think it's just broken. Like, it's not going to give me my... Okay, whatever. But yeah, so if you follow this, if you followed this with us, like, these are all the trades that you've been able to make with me just this week. So Friday, let's see, when was the opening of the week, right? It's the 16th. So from the 16th, let's scroll down to the 16th and see how much money we've made together since the 16th, guys. So this is the 16th. We had $20 plus 60 plus 45 plus 40 plus 40 plus 75 plus 60 plus 85 plus 80 plus 105 plus 120 plus 85 plus 40 plus 70 plus 105 plus 105 again plus 105 again plus 100 plus 100 again plus 200 plus 100 one more time plus 110 plus 50 plus 70 plus 25 plus 80 plus 75 plus 130 plus 60 plus 100 plus 165 85 90 105 70 100. I'm just gonna stop talking one time. And this is how much money we made this week. So that's, if you would have even just had an account with a couple $1,000s, you would have been able to do this with us, because we didn't really ever have a point where you would have been down so much this week that you wouldn't have been able to hold it. So You would have never went negative or anything like that. So this would have been some good gains for you. You would have six, times three to your account. And this is from the live trading. The live trading that we did this week, I only get on this count when I'm live trading with you guys. So, do you need a separate subscription at TradingView? I would recommend getting the separate subscription with TradingView. It's like $30 a month or whatever. It's no big deal. But yes, because you want the live data and everything on there. If you're not going to do that, then you can also go on Tradovate, which has decent trading stuff. You don't have to do everything on TradingView. You can go on Tradovate and trade there. And how much invested to make that much? Remember, I'm doing about a contract at a time. Each contract is about a tenth. So if we're sitting at 11,357, you need $1,000, 137, $35, whatever, per contract to be able to go. And I've never gone more than, I think earlier today we did like 20 contracts. So at most you would have needed like $20,000, but you didn't even in that case, right? That you could have done MNQ instead, which I keep talking about. Instead of doing NQ, you could do MNQ, and instead of making the, what was it, 4,235, you would have made $423. But imagine making $423 extra every week that you weren't expecting to make. I say that's pretty solid, in my opinion, just from joining a live and whatever. And then as you grow your account, you get to the point where, okay, now I have 10,000, 15,000, you can start doing the NQs with me and whatever. So YouTube is Hoskala Trading, same name as here, just without the underscore. What percent? Hold on, exactly. And yes, if you had a $4,000 account and copied the trades this week, you would have doubled it. And a little bit more. How easy is it to withdraw funds on Tradovate? It's pretty simple. I mean, it's just like everything else. You just put your bank in and it takes a few days and it comes to you. Top Step, the one that I use though, that uses Tradovate for funded trading, basically the way it works is every 5 days you trade, you get to pull out 50% of what you made, and you keep 90% of what they send you, and they keep 10%. So every $5,000 that I send myself, I keep 90% of that 5,000, right? And which broker can you use for trading? You can use, you can use any one you want. I would recommend using Tradovate if you're going to use your own money. I would use Tradovate and then pay for the basically $10 a month thing that lets you connect to TradingView, and then whatever subscription you need for TradingView, which is like probably the second highest one, which is like $50 or something like that. Go ahead and pay what you need to pay subscription wise, and then start trading that way. What do I think of binary options? Is it legit? They're fine. I just don't do them. Never really cared for them myself, but they're okay. Let's see. Have I ever created a list of rules to help beginner traders create a mechanical system? Yes, but I tend to find that new traders don't follow the rules you tell them because they're kind of cliche. Realistically, don't let your emotions get in the way of trading. That doesn't make sense until you start doing it and you start realizing your emotions are hindering you in certain ways, whether it's your bias or whatever it is. You're too tied to a play. You don't know when to cut it or when to average down or whatever because you think it's going to do this. Like, think of the people holding AMC, right? Those are emotional traders who have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They're holding for a make-believe price target that's never going to happen. Sorry to say, if you're one of those people, I hope that you listen to what I'm telling you. It's never going to happen. I love you, but it's never going to happen. And yeah, that's just, you gotta understand that when you start using your emotions, when you stop using basically just analysis in general, you stop using whether it's price action, whether it's fibs, whether it's your EMAs, whatever it is, when you start using your emotions and your own biases versus what the chart's telling you, that's when you get fucked. You stop being greedy. It's rule number 2. 5% keeps the broke away. I can't express that enough. 5% keeps the broke away. That's it. Which prop firm do I use? I use TopStep. TopStep is the best in my opinion because it works the best with TradingView. That's just my opinion. Other people may think differently. That's okay. I like TopStep though. What's the difference from options trading stocks and futures? Contract stocks, one is 100. So with futures, the difference is you don't get. You have to look this up for whichever futures you start playing. If you start playing NQ, every 25 cents that it moves is $5 that your contract goes up or down. So if you go up $5, this goes up $5, and you had a short, you just lost $100. If you had a long, you just made $100. Okay. So it's different with ES. I think it's $12. It's $12.50 per tick, and I don't remember exactly what a tick is per on ES. MNQ, basically instead of $100 for $5 move, it's only $10. So MNQ is less risky, and you can trade it with less money. Okay. I would say that if you're gonna start out with like say $1,000 or $1,500, which is probably the lowest amount I would start trading futures with, you start paper trading first and foremost. If you haven't started paper trading and practicing, don't start with real money. Paper trade first, then move to MNQ or MES, and then once you get comfortable and you've grown that $1,500 to maybe $5,000, $6,000, go ahead and try NQ one contract at a time on very good setups. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I would say, and I like what you're saying, Shane, about the 5 trades a day, profit or loss doesn't matter. I like that because it gives you like a hard stop that you have to adhere to. If that's a rule that you need to stop at, then that's a rule that works for you, then great. For me, it's more so like I have almost every trade that I get into goes green at least 5%. If it's an options play, it goes green at least 5%. So for me, the hardest part that I had was just accepting my 5% and then playing another play when it comes up. And instead of going light, I have to go heavy on my plays from the very get-go, accept my 5% and go and enjoy my business, right? So I had to start doing that. Instead of putting like say 5% of my portfolio in a play, I needed to start putting 10 or 15% of my portfolio in a play, do a quick 5% and get the fuck out, right? That's what I needed to do, was just say, hey, look, you don't need to be shooting for 15, 20, 25, 30% on your plays. And if they run that much, great, good, you made a good play. But don't worry about if they run that much, because if you secure that 5%, you hit your goal. If your portfolio grows 5% a day, you're in a very good place. And that's what I have to teach myself to do. And so, or have a certain stop where like, hey, if you lost this much on the day, man, you just need to go ahead and take your L, go and take a walk and enjoy Mother Nature and stop for the day, right? On my trades this week, did I have stop losses? Yes. I wouldn't say on all of them though. A few of them I trusted the structure that I saw, and I kept averaging down versus having stop losses. But yeah. This TradingView will allow you to paper trade for free, I believe. But it'll only allow you to paper trade like realistically easily, probably futures, and then if you try and do like QQQ, wow, I just almost had like a stroke or something. Stocks or shares, you can only do the shares. You can't do options, which is a little funny, but whatever. Um, yeah. What percent do I risk on my stop loss? So if I'm doing futures, it's not about percent, it's more about a dollar amount because of the way that futures work when they move. But let's say I have, and this is a good example I said earlier, so in our paper trading account that we've been trading together on in the lives, we started at $100,000 3 weeks ago. We have $29,000 now. So for me, my max-ish loss that I want is probably around between $5,000 and $10,000, and I would say even the 10,000 is probably way too high. I'd have to really trust the structure that I see to keep averaging down to that point. But for the majority of the time, like now, it's going to be $5,000, and then as I go up, that will also go up because it's going to be a percentage of how much gains I have instead of, you know what I'm saying? Are you asking which this indicator is or this one? Because so I have my first of all, this is my TTM squeeze. This shows you pressure. So like this is showing you a shit ton of pressure. Gold and red means there's a lot of pressure. Okay. Black means that the pressure is starting to release, and green means that there's no more pressure. So for now, basically what this is telling you is the pressure is no longer there. So whatever way we started going, which it looks like we started going down, we're more than likely going to continue doing that come Sunday. Yeah, okay, so it was the TTM squeeze. Okay, so I don't have to go over the other ones. And what's up, Oscar? What's in the store on the bottom? Talking about just this, right? That's what you were asking for. Okay, cool, yeah. And again, right, like, I get on here and I paper trade with you guys. Last week we've made a little over $4,000 together. But I also, every single day before I get on here and I trade with you guys, I'm on my account, my prop trading account, my funded account that I go on, and I make $1,000 a day. So I made $1,000 today, stopped, got, and then made another $385 with you guys. The squeeze, you don't have to set it up any kind of way. How it is how you keep it. It stays like this. And y'all are very welcome. I love doing this. I love seeing the people get it. I love, it first started off when I was doing this, it started off like, hey, I just want to make $100 a day. When it came to futures anyway, when I was doing futures, I was like, hey, I want to make $100 a day. Then I realized that was way too easy. I want to make $250 a day. Then I was like, all right, I'm getting good at this. Let me make it $350. And I just kind of kept going, and I pushed it, and I've realized that my kind of perfect spot is around $1,000 to $1,500, like between $500 and $1,500. That's what I've realized. So, how long did I fail at trading before I got it? So I talked about this earlier. From the point where I finally realized I needed to learn a strategy to the point where I finally started getting it and feeling confident was about 9 months. The point where people started asking me to help them was about a year in, and then the point when I actually started feeling comfortable helping other people was about a year and a half in, and I've been helping people for about over 2 years now. So, how long should one paper trade before going live? Good question. I think it's a mix of time and consistency. So, for one, if you start having oh shit, this is not the right one. If you start having, so this is TradingView. If you start noticing, like right away, like let's say you've taken in all the stuff that I've been teaching you, you get it, you got it, right? You're comfortable, and you're paper trading for 2 weeks or a month, and you're just green. You're just getting green. Like say, 7 out of 10 trades you're green, and when you're red, it's not eating up all your green, right? Like, let's say on average you're making $500 a day. When you're red, you only lose maybe $100 on those plays, right? So it's okay, right? If that's the case and you're winning like that consistently, then you can go ahead and say, hey, look, I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and jump in live trading. Now, if you're just starting and say you flip flop from being like, okay, I'm not consistent and I am consistent and I'm not consistent and I am consistent, I would say after like 3-ish months, if you're still having that issue, you probably want to have like a one-on-one or some type of session to help pinpoint where you're fucking up, because it could be something that you're not realizing. Maybe you're not journaling how you're trading or something. And if you journaled your trades, I promise you, if you journal what you did wrong on the trades that you lose and you journal what you did right, you'll find consistencies both times. And if you stop doing the things that you're fucking up on and you start doing more of the things that you're doing well on, you'll start seeing you go up more. So, and then once you start doing that after, say, 3 months, it should only take you a couple more weeks to be good. Um, and yeah, I can absolutely teach anybody. I've done one-on-ones. The one-on-ones I do are $60 for the hour, so be aware of that. But if you want a one-on-one, you can always reach out to me at emadaytrader@gmail. We can set one up. It usually one or two max is all people need, unless they like them so much they want to continue because they just want to get better and better, or they want to roll ideas off of me or whatever. That happens too. I've had a couple people that have done more than two, but the majority of people only need maximum two. And I've had people who, if you know what you're doing, generally one is plenty. Um, so yeah. I mean, I trade Nasdaq, so I think that um, it's good. And yeah, my TradeObate account is funded. I have three different accounts. So I have two funded, I have one unfunded that I'm working on finish getting funded, and I make basically the same amount in all of them. I just copy my trades in all of them and just do them on different screens, and do them over. So I use um, I use Top Step, which goes through TradeObate. So Top Step basically Top Step uses TradeObate so that it can connect to TradingView to make it simple. The cost is $60 for the hour, Botox, and the email is emadaytrader@gmail.com. And normally I don't live trade my early morning sessions, or like when I'm first trading on my account, and the reason is because I want to make my money and be focused on my money versus being focused on the screen that you guys are on, right? And I wouldn't be able to help you. You'd just be staring at my screen, right? And I might get flustered or something, and I might do something. So I'd rather trade on my own, make my money, then I go come on here, paper trade with you guys, do the same exact stuff that I do on my account, but I can focus on what's going on, right? Like I can focus on what you guys are saying, what's on the screen. And the reason why I make it $60, right? So I did it for free for a long time, and I had a lot of people basically wasting my fucking time. That's for lack of better words. I had people coming in, they're trying to learn while screen sharing on their phone instead of being on a laptop. Like you can't even see what I'm telling you on a phone, or texting or taking a phone call in the middle of the one-on-one. And I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this for free anymore. Most people charge like $200 up to $500 or something absolutely ridiculous. I didn't want to make people feel like I'm trying to take money from them, but I also wanted people to be, uh, you know, motivated to actually learn. Like if you pay the $60, whatever, when you come in to that 1 hour, you're gonna be sitting there trying to learn whatever it is that I'm teaching you. So yeah, man, my son be the biggest. My son's the biggest money coster that I have when I'm trading. Whenever he's yelling or whatever, I just have to stop trading. I have to get off or whatever. Um, and I feel that Dreaming Fox about the wizardry part. If you do a one-on-one, I promise you, this all makes sense so fast after like 30 minutes, and then you just go over like where different examples are, and then it makes sense even more, and then it's no like you realize like when people do magic tricks, right? Like, and they show you how to do the magic trick, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Exact same concept. I appreciate you, Maria, talking about the one-on-ones in there, and how they are. I saw your thing just flash up on my screen as well. I will text you back when this live is over in a few minutes, and we'll set up the one-on-one that you want this weekend as well. Um, oh yeah, and the same strategies that I used for day trading work for swing trading. So like I use the exact same stuff to swing trade QQQ options on a normal basis. I appreciate you, Oscar. Do I see? So if you want to know my areas that I think QQQ and SPY are going, just look where they were pre-pandemic highs. That's where I think they're going for the new lows. EMAs I use are five. Wow, I'm reading what you said. I use the 9, 21, and 200. So 9 EMA, 21 EMA, 200. This is actually my VWAP. So you can ignore that. I mean, not ignore it, but it's not an EMA. This is my 200 EMA, 9 EMA, and 21 EMA. And I do not trade currencies. Just for the simple fact, you don't need to trade everything. I found mine. I found what I like to trade. I found what I'm consistent on. I only trade NQ, QQQ on a daily basis. That's all I trade. How do I pin my Fibonacci? I don't pin it, right? So I have to redraw it every time. Over here, I have to click it, and then I draw it. So for me, it's about, you have to remember, it's about picking a high and a low and letting it follow your bias. So for me, realistically, what I should have done today is I should have been like, okay, where we opened at, let's say maybe, what was it, somewhere over here. Yeah, so we opened here. When we did this, I should have drawn, I would have waited about an hour or two and then drawn this, right? I would have been able to see, so normally whenever you first break out of your first golden zone and you hit that golden zone for the first time, you actually drop back down to come back and touch it. And that's where you finally break out. That's exactly what happened. So I would have probably shorted around here, let it drop to VWAP, took my re-entry on that bounce back up, got in. Basically every single line is going to be an entry and an exit. So bounce here, exit, re-enter, exit, good exit because we end up bouncing off of this one. You can re-enter on the bounce, or you can just re-enter when we break through here, then exit, enter and exit, and so on and so forth, right? And then you just use it to do your thing. And yeah. Hey Oscar, we look forward to seeing you on Monday, and if you want a one-on-one, we're happy to do it. If you join the Discord though, don't forget every Saturday we basically have a class where, I don't want to say you kind of get a one-on-one, but if you ask any questions, they're answered. So they can be very, very useful. Like in my opinion, the Discord group for $15 a month is by far the best fucking price that you can get for somebody like a Discord group. The ones that are like $50, $100 or whatever, that are doing callouts, that have several thousand people within them, I promise you those people are just front loading contracts on you. And it's basically a pyramid scheme where if you get in early when they call it out, you might make some money. If you get in late, they're basically all taking your money. That's how it works. So mine is only a few hundred people. We don't really do call outs like that. If we do call outs, they're on big contract plays that you can't pump anyway. So you never have to worry about that. And we're trying to show you how to do this versus giving you plays, right? If you want to join, same thing as with the one-on-ones. Just shoot me an email at EMA Day Trader, and what I'll do is I'll shoot you the link if you want the Discord. If you want to set up a one-on-one, whatever, just tell me which we want. We'll get it started out. We'll get it figured out. Okay. I want everybody to be happy and successful. If you have just a couple questions and you don't necessarily need a one-on-one, like it's literally just 1 or 2 questions, shoot me the questions and I'll answer them. But if you need the one-on-one, and I promise you, if you need the one-on-one. If when you're looking at my chart, you're like, this doesn't really make sense, I've watched the YouTube video, I just need a little bit more in depth, then you need the one-on-one. Invest in yourself. I haven't had any one person come to me after a one-on-one and say, this shit wasn't worth it, I'll never do it again. I haven't had anyone tell me that. I've always had people after the one-on-one say that was well worth it. I'm gonna do another one, or it was worth it, and they hit me up a few days later. Hey man, it was so good. I'm making X, Y, and Z money now that I wanted to make before. I'm making that on a daily basis now, and it's really great. I appreciate you or whatever. So, you know, I appreciate you, Jerry, with all those stars, by the way, and everything. The gifts. I appreciate all the gifts. I never asking for anything like that, but I appreciate when they're sent always. Do I think market will drop Monday? I am thinking that market will probably do one of two things next week. It's going to do a lot of chop, where basically every day eats out the next day, or downwards. I don't think that we continue up. There's no real catalyst to continue up. The only thing that I think would maybe drive us up, and it's because people are kind of stupid, is the fact that we kind of confirmed that we're having a 75 rate hike, the next rate hike, and so the market does like certainty. It could potentially drive us up, but I don't think it'll be a long. Like by the end of the week, we'll be red. If we start out early, we'll end the week red. If that makes sense. And yes, I use level two. Um, how do you get the video outside of live streams? If you want to see the videos after the fact, I upload them on YouTube every single time. Um, every once in a while, though, the file is like corrupted for some reason, and it doesn't want to upload. Like the one I did yesterday, didn't want to upload, and it was a good one. It was like $900 in 30 minutes that we made. Um, kind of pissed me off, but whatever. It was a good live yesterday, and I didn't get to upload that one. So, what time do I usually trade? An hour before Globex slash, I mean not Globex, an hour before Power Hour slash during Power Hour is when I'm on the lives, as well as sometimes I will come back on around when after hours markets open again at 5, or when they like around 8:30 or so Central PM, when I put my son to sleep for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and hop out now, guys. I'm kind of tired. I've been trading all day. Made some money with you guys. Made some money by myself. I kind of just want to enjoy myself now. Eat some food. Hydrate. Maybe drink some drink and do some hooligan shit or whatever. Not every day is about making money. So I'll go ahead and enjoy myself and enjoy my weekend, and y'all do the same, alright? And feel free to reach out to me. I've gotten a few emails now. Maria, if you're still in here, I'm going to shoot you a text in just a second, and we'll figure out exactly when we're going to do that one-on-one tomorrow or Sunday, okay? And y'all have a great, great evening and great Saturday, weekend, etc. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy myself, alright? I'll see y'all later.